Autobots, roll out!
I'd like to take a moment to thank my channel members. Thank you. It's continued support like yours that keeps this channel growing. And if you haven't already, please consider joining today. Hello and welcome to That's Just Prime, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers MP-44 Optimus Prime. Not really, this is the knockoff. This is the knockoff that's pretty popular out there. This is the one that comes without a box. It just comes in a tray with no trailer and just pretty much everything you see included here. So I've said it several times on several other reviews. I was not about to spend the asking price for MP-44. I got myself the Light of Peace, and I've got myself the TE Transform Element figure, and I was perfectly fine with those. However, this figure just popped up for me on Facebook Marketplace, and it had a really good price. So I just went and picked it up. I figured, what the heck, at least that way I get some kind of an experience with the MP-44 mold, even though it has some minor changes that's been done from the original one. But at least I get to experience that mold at a price that I'm happy with, and I get another, masterpiece scale Prime to add to my collection. So I was pretty happy with that. Now, the person that I bought this from, they originally purchased this from TF Safari. I've since checked, and they no longer have them in stock. And I don't know how much he paid for it. I have checked. AliExpress does have this in stock as of the time of this recording, and these are retailing there for approximately $80. So, yeah, not a bad price. A lot better than what was being asked for the original MP-44. So again, this is just the knockoff version. There are going to be some minor differences. The biggest change really being that this isn't painted. It doesn't have that glossy finish. It is molded in the red plastic that you see here. So if you were to put this next to an actual MP-44, it would look very opaque next to that one. Also, all of the electronics have been stripped out. There are no lights on this thing, which also makes for a smaller backpack in the robot mode, which is nice. And again, no trailer. But that's fine because I've got an MP-size trailer that works for a bunch of different primes, so I could just swap them out in and out. So what you get with this is, just between you and me, I am not sure that the person that I bought this from ever even transformed it, to be honest. When I transformed this, everything was so tight that I honestly don't believe this figure had ever been transformed before I purchased it, which is pretty cool. So you get the vehicle itself. The vehicle, the truck mode here, is approximately 8 inches long, 3 inches tall, 3.5 if you go to the top of the smokestack right there. You get the jetpack, which unfortunately is not going to work with the figure. I mean, you can kind of, the guy had it clipped, not clipped on, but he just kind of had it resting on him in robot mode. We'll look at that when we get there. The jetpack and the little Starscream shoulder pylon things here, these required to be snapped on or slotted onto some part of the backpack for the original figure. Since that backpack has been modified for this figure, these two pieces really don't work that well. But they do come included. He comes with 2 blast effects, and these blast effects can be used for the jetpack, so they can plug in right there, which is pretty neat. Or they can also be plugged into the rifle for that. So, and then of course it comes with the rifle, which can be folded up like so. And then there is a slot right there that can go onto this little tab on the back of the vehicle for weapon storage. And it would store it something like that. I'm not going to do it because it's super tight. It actually takes quite a bit of effort to put it on. And then taking it back off again almost feels like you're going to break the figure. So I'm not going to do it again. I am going to kind of show you where it goes. That's where it would sit. So we can set all of that stuff off to the side as we go. We also get his Energon Axe, which works really, really well. This is really cool. I really like this accessory. That and the gun. We get a couple of heads. So we get the Starscream head along with those pylons. So you can do like that thing when Starscream was cosplaying Optimus Prime. You get a kind of like a damaged piece of his chest along with the damaged head. So in robot mode, you can swap out the heads, and then this piece just kind of clips on, so you can kind of simulate that damage. You get what is supposed to be a cartoon or animated style head. I'm not a fan. And this one's a little bent. I can probably straighten that out with some hot water, but I'm just not a fan of that head. And then you also get this little plate right here. And this is actually the plate that supposedly comes on the figure right there for his shoulder emblem. And then you can actually just take it off and swap them out. And I kind of dug at this a little bit when I first got the figure, and it's really, really on there. I don't know if maybe the previous owner glued this one on. I'm not going to mess with it since I was going to give it an Autobot logo anyway. I'm just going to leave that on right there. And then again, we're left with the truck itself. Again, approximately 8 inches long, 3 tall, 3.5 if you go to the top of the smokestack. Rolls okay. I get a little bit of rubbing right here. This bottom grill right here rubs a little bit on my surface, but I find that it's on this surface. When I've taken this figure over to a different table, it rolls okay without rubbing, so not sure what that's all about. But there you go. He looks pretty good. Of course, you got the red cap there. You got the little silver mirrors. These mirrors are super loose and floppy, so they never, ever stay out. You got front windshields right here done in translucent plastic, translucent blue plastic, so that's pretty neat. And you can see all of the details there for the front. You got the grille, the headlights, and the bumper all done in silver. Little orange signal lights there on the front. You got nice rubber wheels coming along the side right here. This little piece right here always kind of unsnaps for me. The doors do open, even though it doesn't serve much of a purpose because there's really nothing in there. But the doors do open on both sides. That is pretty neat. Let me straighten that out. Of course, now that I'm on camera, these pieces are going to just keep snapping off. I already showed you the Autobot logo. You got the smokestacks in painted silver. I think that's another difference between this and MP-44 as I understand it. MP-44, all these pieces are chrome, where here it's painted silver. So that's going to be another difference. So you got the gas tank in silver, the wheels are done in silver, the smokestacks are done in silver. You can see the back of the truck right there. Not as clean as other figures in this size class. I think this is actually probably the worst out of its size class. The Transform Element and the Magic Square figures have a lot cleaner backpack than this figure does right here. Going around the back there, you got some tail lights and some little grills right there. And that's about it for the truck mode. A couple of comparisons. Here he is with Transform Element CE01. So you can see what the two of them look like together. And again, if you look at the back of the figures, Transform Element, a lot cleaner than the MP-44. So you go, you can see what the two of them look like together. And then here he is next to Magic Square's Light of Peace, I hope. All of the Magic Square figures are Light of something. I got 4 of them, and they're all Light of something different. So I think it's Light of Peace. If I'm wrong, tell me down in the comments. Yeah, absolutely beautiful figure. And again, if you look at the back right there, much cleaner on Magic Square than it is on the MP-44. Just a lot of this cheating does not work. Like these are the gas tanks, you know, you got these gas tanks for the truck mode, but then the gas tanks for the robot motor are just kind of sitting right there. Some of these cheats just don't work, or I guess they would have worked if we didn't already have these figures. So I guess they worked up until those other figures came out. But there you go. You can see what they all look like together. And of course, one final comparison, because I always have him on my desk in case there is a social media outage. Here is MP-44 KO next to the original G1 Optimus Prime, so you can see what the two of them look like together. To transform Optimus into robot mode, we're going to start by folding in the rear view mirrors. And we're going to come to the sides of the vehicle right here, the whole side of the vehicle. We're just going to untab this from the front right there and just bring this whole thing back. We're going to fold this panel, flip it down, take the gas tank right here, and we're going to flip it over. And actually, let me bring that back up again. There's a little red panel here and a blue panel. We're going to flip these in like so, and then bring this all the way in like that. So repeat again on this side. We're going to untab these panels, bring them all the way out, bring this down, and flip this gas tank over. Fold that in half and bring it around, and then finally the little red panel and blue panel get brought in towards the back. If they haven't done so already, go ahead and separate the legs. Take this whole side panel right here and just unpeg this and bring it out to the side. I'll bring that down like that. And Let's see, go ahead and rotate this around like so. This panel here is going to turn outwards like so, and just bring that all the way around like that. This panel here is going to fold down, and then this gas tank is going to spin around and tab in right there. And I think that's it for that. Go ahead and separate this. We are going to extend this panel, or the whole leg piece. We're going to just extend all of this out like so. Take this panel right here. There's a little panel inside of there. I'm going to make sure that's showing. We want to make sure that we pull that out. On mine, it kind of keeps flipping in, so we want to bring that out, and then we're going to flip this all the way up and over. That tab is going to lock in right there, and that should help us lock the leg panel. It's on a double hinge, so you got to work it. And then we got to lock that tab in there so that our leg isn't flopping all over the place. Take your hitch back here. Rotate that one in, and then just bring this up and over like so. This panel right here needs to come up, so bring this up on a double hinge and just get it all the way up and over like so. Bring the toe down like so. This little panel needs to flip up like that. Then we're going to bring the heel up, rotate this piece in, and rotate it all the way in. Finally, we're going to make sure that this is all good and straight. This is going to come in and tab into place there. I forgot this little panel. I thought I was forgetting something. That little panel needs to close right there. And now we're going to be able to bring this whole piece of the leg in, like so. That's going to tab into place. And then this piece is going to come in and lock everything in place. And there you go. That is one leg done. So we're going to just repeat on the other side. All right, so that's the legs all done. Go ahead and bring these down like so. We can take these panels, bring these down. These panels here come down to the sides. And then this little blue panel back here, this is going to come down. And then that little piece is going to come down. Bottom half of the robot is done. We're going to want to bring the camera up some, so let's do that now. And continue working up here. So, starting with the top of the truck. I'm going to go ahead and take this panel and just kind of bring it out to kind of open that up. And I can go ahead and bring the arms out. And I just kind of gonna like to get these out of the way. Take the whole front of the truck right here. We're going to take the front grille, the piece between the windshields and the roof right here. Untab those, untab all of this, and then all of this is going to come up and over the front of the truck. Up and over the front of the cab like so. Open the windows up. And that should just kind of get everything out there. We can bring the arms out, and let's go ahead and do the arms now and get them out of the way. So we're going to pull that down and then take the smokestack here and push it back. That's going to lock it in place. Close this panel up right here. Bring the arm around. This panel right here is going to open, and you're going to rotate this all the way around, and that's going to bring the fist out. Bring that there. Rotate the fist around. Mine is very squeaky. Open this little panel up right here. And then finally close that up. Make sure that little tab locks in right there. And that's one arm done. We can just kind of do that with it and get it out of the way. Let's work on this one too. So let's just kind of get that one out of the way. Extend it. This one is tight. There we go. Extend it and then push the smokestack back to lock it into place. Push this little panel up. Bring the arm around. Bring this panel around. Bringing the fist around with it. That's new. Why am I stuck? There we go. Tab that into place. Rotate the fist. Open this little panel up. Close all of that up and get that tab right there. Arms are done, so we can get those up and out of the way. And I like to get the stuff out of the way because it's going to start getting really convoluted and kind of hard to show on camera. So these panels are up. This is up. We can bring this panel back. Let's work on this backpack right here. And again, I'll have to adjust for height. Let me see if I can get up any higher. Yep. All right, so let's work on this backpack here. So we have this going on right now. We're going to take the sides right here and pop those out. Again, tolerances on mine are super tight. Bring this up and then push it back in again. I kind of got a feeling that the previous owner may have never transformed this figure because it's just, everything is so tight. Open these panels like this. Rotate these around and then bring this down like so. And that's going to be his backpack. And this should start letting you get things, rotating things and moving things around. So, let's see. Reach down here. There's a little hook right down here under his crotch. You know, pull on that. That's going to separate everything. So it's going to let us start rotating things around like so and just kind of straightening things out. So we've got, these are going to be his back panels and these are going to be underneath this part of the backpack here. So we're going to leave that there. Yep. Okay. These panels here, these are going to rotate up like so. And that's also bringing the head up as well. Bring that little panel up right there. There's a couple of levers down here, bars right here. We want to try and kind of get those extended so that we have room to work with. Rotate the windshields around. Let's work on this piece right here. So this is actually tabbed in there. When you put it together, you see the two little tabs, or rather slots right there. Those are going from those tabs right there. So we want to separate all of this and just kind of work this whole piece out like so, and then fold that little hook back in or back down like so. On these pieces here, we are going to, these are separated now, push this piece out towards us like so. Let's see. Do we do that now or do we do that later? Maybe, okay, let's do the wheel first. The wheel is going to slide down and then it's going to come up like so. Now we can pull these down, which is going to allow us to rotate them and then push them in again. So again, the wheel, snap it down and then rotate it up. Pull these out just enough so that you can rotate them and then push them in again. And now we can start rotating those. So the whole top of the torso here should start rotating now. And we should have enough clearance here to bring these up around the arm like so. That's going to start forming his torso. Start working on, okay, we can bring this down and we can bring this is his matrix chamber. We can bring that in. And make sure that is going in all the way, like so. All right, so on his backpack, again, these panels are going to come down and sit on his back, like so. This whole piece here is going to come down, like so. And then this piece is going to come up. Make sure that's in there. These hooks are going to come right here. And now you're going to bring this whole thing down together on these levers. And as you do that, the backpack's going to kind of pull down and pull in and tighten everything into place. Everything should come down together. And that's not right. This needs to be in like so with the hooks in place. There we go. That should now come down right. There you go. Just like that. Push everything in, give it a good snap. Everything is good and straight. We can push the arms in. This little panel is going to come down. And we can close this matrix chamber. All right, that was a chore. And I had heard that about this figure, but there we have MP-44, or KO MP-44, Optimus Prime in his robot mode. And here in robot mode, Prime stands approximately 9.5 inches tall. So it is masterpiece scale, just like the rest of them, which is really, really nice. Coming in closer, you can take a good look at the head. Again, straight out of the, straighten out his little antenna right here. Straight out of the animation. It looks really, really good. I absolutely adore that head sculpt. Again, we do not have any lights and we do not have any sounds. Those have been stripped out for this version. Right there, but you go so you can see what that looks like. Going all the way around, you can see his profile. The backpack is a lot smaller and a lot cleaner now. I really like that a lot. Make sure he's all the way down like that. And just kind of going all the way around. There you go. So you can see what that looks like. It looks really good. I like it. I really do like it. I'm happy that I finally got a chance to experience this mode. Not ever having had any version of MP-44. I don't have first-hand knowledge, but as I understand it, there was an issue either with the knees or with the shins right there where they were either really weak or snapping or something like that. That issue has been fixed here, as well as the backpack issue there. So there you go. Articulation-wise, the head can go up and down on a ball joint, side to side, inquisitive tilting. Shoulders can go forward and backwards, all the way around. They can go in and out. Rotation at the bicep, bend at the elbow. Rotation at the wrist, squeaky. Rotation at the wrist. You can also go in and out at the wrist. You have a hinged thumb, 2 hinges on the index finger, and and then the other 3 fingers are hinged together. You can, that's not broken. Let me get this back together correctly. That is actually a feature, which I am going to show you here in a little bit. So let's just close that back up again. All right, so that's the arms. The waist can rotate. Can the waist rotate? That far, that's it. That's not a whole lot of rotation for the waist. I guess he can ab crunch some, not a whole lot. The thighs, this is pretty neat on the thighs. When they can kick forward that far, and you'll notice that the little skirt piece moved back on its own, and then it comes down on its own again, which is really neat. You can rotate the thigh. You can go back that far. You can go in and out. That much of a bend on the knee. You got a little bit of backwards bend on the knee also, so you can do kind of that cartoon pose. There you go, right before he transforms. So that's pretty neat. And of course, the ankles can move back and forth, up and down a little bit, and side to side, tilting for those dynamic stances. Very nice. This is a good, it's a good masterpiece figure. It's not the best masterpiece Optimus Prime. I'm not by any stretch of the imagination, I don't think. But it does the job. It does it well. Now, for the interchangeable heads, these are on ball joints. So you can just pop them off right there. If you wanted to, you could just pull on it. You don't have to take the head apart. And then you can bring in the other heads and just pop those into place. So if you wanted to give them the damaged head, and then you've got the little damaged chest piece right there. It does have a tab right there, and there's a slot on his side, so this just kind of tabs in right there, and there you go. You can have a damaged Optimus Prime. That's not a whole lot of damage, but there you go. That's the that's the effect of it. You can just pop that right off. We'll pop this one off. And the other 2 heads, the animated head and the Starscream head, work the exact same way. They're just on a ball joint. They're easy to pop. I do like that because, as I understand it, on the official version, you actually had to disassemble the head to do that. So I actually like that. That's pretty neat. So you saw me take the hand off a little bit ago, so you can do that. You can just kind of pop the head off, hand off, and then you will bring in his Energon axe, which has a little slot right there, which matches that on his hand. So you can pop that off, and then just kind of pop the Energon axe into that slot. And there you go. Now you've got Optimus with his Energon axe, which is also very neat. That's a very cool feature. I like that a lot. I don't know if I prefer that over the ones where the Energon axe just kind of cups over the fist. They both work. They're both kind of doing their own thing. They both work. But there you go. That's the way that this one works. The rifle also. We're going to unfold this. It's on 2 hinges. Bring that down. So we've got the tabs. These are very common now for Masterpiece style figures. You got a slot in his hand, so you can just kind of slot that right in there and close the fingers around it. And there you go. You've got Optimus Prime all armed up and ready for battle. You got an Energon axe, and you've got his rifle. You also get 2 of these blast effects, which you can use either for the rifle. So we'll pop one of those in. And there you go. You've got a blast effect on the rifle, or you can take them, and put them on the backpack. They look really neat on the backpack. Now, this backpack doesn't clip on as well as the official one does. What you want to do here is you want to get this piece over this, and then you want to try and squeeze this little gap right here over this part of the backpack. And it'll get there, it'll line up, and it will hold it enough. It's not the most secure thing in the world, but it will. Of course, it's going to make me look bad now. I was just doing this yesterday. It'll hold it enough to where it doesn't fall off, but it's not something you're going to play with or make it fly or anything like that. But if it's on your shelf, you can do that. You can make that happen, and you can have him standing there with his backpack or his jetpack. So that is something that can be done. So we'll set that off to the side. We'll take that off, and we'll give him his hand back. And we'll do a couple of comparisons. It's going to stay nicely there. All right, now for comparisons, here is MP-44 KO Optimus Prime. Let's get that fixed there. Next to Transform Element TE01. So you can see what the 2 of them look like together. Why don't we do all 3 of them? So we'll put MP-44 here in the middle. And here he is with the Light of Peace. I think Magic Square, Light of Peace. So you can see what the 3 of them look like together. And again, they all look good. He's almost kind of looking like he's the smaller one out of the 3, which is weird. The way the camera is angled is making MP-44 KO look like he's shorter. And maybe he is by just a little bit. I mean, they all measure approximately 9.5 inches, right? So they're all about the same size, but maybe he is just, the camera's making him look shorter, but when I'm looking over the camera, they look the same size. So, but there you go. So you can see what the 3 of them look like together. Now, if you're like me and you did not want to spend a small fortune on an actual official MP-44, any 3 of these, flip a coin. Any 3 of these are a fantastic alternative. Or if you're crazy like me, then you can just get all 3. And there you go. So you have that going on. We'll get these guys off to the side. And of course, I got to bring him in. Again, there was an internet shortage, and it's a good thing, or an outage. Yeah, internet shortage. We were short on internets. We were running low on internets. So it's a good thing that I had my G1 Optimus Prime here on my desk for just such an emergency, as I always do. And you can see what the 2 of them look like together. So once again, we can see where we've been, and we can see where we are. Get to where we're going by knowing where you've been. Very, very cool. Again, I'm glad. I have no regrets about not getting MP-44, but I am glad that I found this guy. I got him for a good deal on Marketplace, on Facebook Marketplace, and it gave me an opportunity to experience this mode. I don't think he's better than either of these. I think either of these is better. These are both better than this. Again, flip a coin, pick one. It's better than this one. So I don't think it's better than the other 2 figures, but it is a cool, fun figure, and I'm glad that I have it. And and some people have their things about KO, so maybe they'll prefer this one. Well, then again, this is also a KO, so I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. Not a bad figure, not the best, but not a bad figure, and it's a fun addition to the collection. I'm glad I got it, and I think that about does it for the Transformers MP-44 KO Optimus Prime. What did you think of this figure? Let me know down in the comments. Give me some thumbs up. Subscribe, share with your friends if you like what you see. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you next time on That's Just Prime.